Another big night of high school football action as the Hicksville Aces have returned home after a punishing road trip up Route 49 to Williams County to be waylaid at the hands of the Edgerton Bulldogs. Aces find themselves back home for week number 7 of the regular season, back to the friendly confines, and hopefully a much more competitive game. They'll be hosting their cross-county rivals, the Fairview Apaches, for the action here tonight. Hi, everybody. I'm Bill Murphy with Hicksville Community Television. Glad to have you joining us. Good to be back here at Aces Field. It's a kind of an overcast, gloomy evening, a little bit on the cool side. There's been some rain off and on throughout the day. Field conditions, though, not too bad. And we'll wait and see if we're going to see any more of the wet stuff during the course of tonight's contest. Aces, again, got pummeled last week. No two ways about it. They ran into the buzzsaw at Edgerton. The Bulldogs are the real deal. They are undefeated, 6-0 after their win last week. They knocked off the Aces 48-8. And so Hicksville, dropping their GMC record to 2 wins and 1 loss, find themselves tied with Wayne Trace amongst others. The Raiders were beaten last week by the Fairview Apaches. An upset there, 45-32, to knock the Raiders off their unbeaten perch in the GMC. So these two teams know each other very well, and this is a long-standing rivalry between two schools, so you can, in a way, kind of throw the book out here, and it's always a hard-fought contest, as the Aces again want to put another one in the win column, up their GMC record to 3-1. Hope that maybe somebody might knock off the Bulldogs, which would be quite the feat this year based on the team we saw last Friday, to grab at least a share of that GMC title, and of course the victories that keep their chances for postseason play alive as well. Apaches won the toss and deferred, so they're kicking off to the Aces to get things started. Scooped up. That's Comiso. He runs into one of his own players, backs off, spins, and manages to battle out to about the 29-yard line, where the Aces will take over on offense for the first time tonight. The opening drive, 1st and 10. The visiting Apaches, of course. Also in the GMC, their head coach is Doug Rakes. Lucas Smith, of course, head coach for the Aces. Pitch back to Comiso. Comiso turns the corner across the 30, and he'll get out close to about the 32. Pickup of about 3. Comiso gives him a 2nd and 7. Aces quarterback, of course, number 4, Jake Miller. Normally he works out of the shotgun. Receivers Comiso and running back Comiso, and also Zach Brickle. And then the other receivers will be Parker Thiel, Braden Langham, and Landon Turnbull. Now another running play, and Brickle will get it out to about the 35-yard line. Say a big thank you to my lovely wife, Amy Murphy. Amy is running camera for the first part of the game tonight. Our normal camera volunteer, Christopher Warner, also plays in the 7th and 8th grade band, and the junior high band is joining the high schoolers tonight for the halftime show. Catch made by Comiso, but he's not going to get much out of it. Manages to elude one and pounds his way out to about the 40-yard line. So Comiso looked like he was going to get dropped for a loss. Then it looked like he might be lucky to battle back to the original line of scrimmage. And then he gets helped out by a couple other aces and manages to get out to the 40-yard line to pick up the first down. So yes, the Mini Aces cheerleaders are here tonight with the varsity cheerleaders. And the middle school band will be participating in the halftime show this evening. Flag thrown near the end of the play, and that's back in the area where you usually see the hold. And that's exactly what it is. That's going to back the Aces up 10. So they're going to be looking at a first and probably about 20 here after the infraction. And then hopefully after the halftime entertainment has wrapped up, Christopher will be able to make his way back up here to the press box and take over for the camera duties for the second half of the game. At least that's the plan. Back up to the original line of scrimmage from play one, from sequence one. It's the 29-yard line. And Comiso with a nice run. Comiso bounces off one and continues powering forward. It looks like Comiso wasn't even going to make it back to the original line of scrimmage at the 40, but he manages to get back the yards lost in that penalty and pick up a couple more. So, Ace.
As long as it's there, I don't care.
And they'll pull forward and get out to about the 47, 48-yard line. So not quite enough to make it to be a third and a manageable 2 yards for the Aces. They've been keeping it on the ground, too, so Hicksville keeping that clock rolling. Hand off to Brickle. Brickle with first down yardage and more. Brickle breaks free. He's into the open field. There's two guys chasing him. They got good angles. They're going to bring him down inside the 15-yard line, but not before Zach Brickle breaks out. And the biggest offensive play of the night, obviously, a huge run. Zach Brickle, no flags thrown. So Brickle's going to take him down to about the 12-yard line where it'll be first and 10 Aces. Brickle found himself.
Where'd the races go?
Again, Brickle gets the carry, and he'll power down close to the 5. I think they're going to mark him down at about the 6-yard line. The Aces are looking to draw first blood here tonight. And said after the pounding they took at the hand of the Edgerton Bulldogs last week, they're going to want to score early and often. Miller, Brickle again to split back beside him. He puts Comiso in motion. Handoff to Comiso. Comiso cuts upfield inside the 5. And Mason Comiso, that's going to be close to first down yardage. We'll see if they give him the first and goal here. We're going to see where they mark it. It looks like at the 4-yard line. And that's going to make it 3rd and 2. High snap. And I think that was Thiel took the direct snap, and Thiel was going to get down to the 2-yard line. And that's going to make it 4th and 1 for the Aces. So decision time here. They're going to send Miller out wide, and Thiel's going to stay in at quarterback as the Aces are going to go for it on 4th down. High snap. Thiel powering forward. We're waiting to see. The Aces are saying touchdown, but nothing from the officials. And it is not a touchdown. However, Thiel gets it to the 1-yard line, which is good enough for the first down. So it'll be first and goal, Aces, from the 1. Miller comes back in at QB. He'll hand it off to Brickle. And Zach Brickle pounds it into the end zone. Touchdown, Aces. 7:03 to go in quarter number 1, and the Aces score first tonight. They're up 6-0, and it looks like they're going to go for 2 here. So the Aces going to go for the 2-point conversion. Misdirection, it's going nowhere. Faked the handoff to Brickle and then did sort of an underhanded shovel handoff to Braden Langham, number 8, and Langham went right into the teeth of the defense. They were right there waiting for him, and Langham gets stood up and pushed back, and now the 2-point conversion fails. So the score remains 6-0 Aces. 7:03 to go in quarter number 1. My camera person is saying, I guess there's no good foreign exchange students to kick the ball this year, and she is correct. The foreign exchange student this year is from the Republic of Georgia, and a talented young man, an awesome singer, and he plays. It's not. It looks like a ukulele, but it's not a ukulele. But yeah, very talented young man, but not an athletic guy. So yeah, we're kind of missing Victor from last year with his leg of steel. So yeah, Elias Delagrange is the place kicker and the punter, and he's getting ready to kick the ball off. And they do bring Delagrange in, and actually he's done fairly well kicking extra points so far this year. But the Aces electing to go for 2 this time. So Delagrange, we'll see if he puts it in the air or if he puts it on the ground. And it'll be an onside style kick. It bounces over one of the, and it's going to be recovered by the Aces, and it'll be their ball. It hopped right over the Fairview Apaches player. He went down to grab the ball, and it literally popped up and went clean over him, landed behind him, but it stayed in bounds. It had gone farther than the requisite 10 yards, and the Aces fall on the ball to recover the onside kick. So just like that, Hicksville going to do some tiring out of the Fairview defensive line here as they're back on offense right away. Miller, hard snap, nobody bites, puts it up in the air. Parker Thiel makes the grab into the end zone, touchdown. The Aces make it burn. They recover the onside kick, and then they throw it 39 yards. The catch and run from Thiel into the end zone to make it 12-0. And we'll see if the Aces go for 2 here to see if they can tidy things up and get that score to 14. But Parker Thiel, great catch, and he dives into the end zone. No flags on the field, so put the points on the board as the Aces are doing everything just the way they want to on offense so far here tonight. Only takes them 6 seconds to get back into the end zone. And this is not going to be a successful 2-point conversion. Miller got the snap, and he looked like he wanted to throw the ball. Then he looked like he thought he might be able to run it in, and then he looked like he might want to throw it again. And by the time he was trying to figure out what he wanted to do, he was tackled. So the 2-point conversion fails, and the score remains 12-0 with 6:57 to go. So like I said, it took like about 7 seconds off the clock for the Aces to get into the end zone. So Hicksville running on all 8 cylinders tonight. This must be a new mascot. We got like a Hicksville ace running around. It's like a giant card. It looks like something from a Disney movie. So I'm guessing that's something done by somebody in the student section got kind of creative and decided to make their own mascot. So Delagrange is going to tee it up again, and we'll see if the Aces are going to go for another onside kick here. Here comes Fairview's number 61, Mitchell Breckler. He's a senior. And Breckler was the one that had the ball pop right over his head. And he got a couple extra words spoken to him by the coaches on the sideline before he came out onto the field. So Delagrange getting ready to tee it up again. And it'll be another onside kick, and this time it is recovered by the Apaches. Grabbed by number 8, Hunter Bostetter. Bostetter. Okay, I'm getting corrected on my pronunciation. Bostetter, good hands, made the grab and falls on the ball right at midfield, 50-yard line. So that's where the Apaches will have it 1st and 10. And with nearly 5 of the 12 minutes gone in the first quarter, Fairview on offense for the first time tonight. Handoff to number 47, Luke Timbrook. Timbrook going to pick up about 4. The Apaches quarterback is number 2, Cade Poulter. Poulter, 5'11" junior. He'll work out of the shotgun as well. Poulter gets the snap. Looks, screen pass, caught on the far sideline. Evades a tackle. And that was Riley Lucas who made the grab, and Lucas gets across the 40 to the 39 to move the chains. So the Apaches pick up their first down on offense here tonight. Poulter takes the snap. Poulter puts it in the air again. It's caught. Number 7 makes the grab, Doug Rakes, and Rakes is going to be taken down almost immediately at about the 36-yard line. And the Apaches putting on a bit of a hurry-up look here. They're not spending much time, no huddling. Poulter gets the snap again. Poulter in the air again, another catch, and nice spin move to evade the first tackle. The second tackler gets him, Caleb Frank, the 6'1" sophomore wide receiver, takes him down to about the 30-yard line. Make it 3rd and 1. So the Apaches doing pretty darn well on offense themselves once they finally got their hands on the football. Another handoff to number 47. He's got some running room, and they finally get him down at about the 15, 14-yard line. So Timbrook with a nice run moves the chains, and he'll get the Apaches a first down inside the 15. So 1st and 10 from the 14 for the Apaches. Poulter puts a man in motion, takes the snap, gives the ball to Timbrook again. Timbrook working his way through traffic. They got him around the ankles. He's still on his feet and pushing himself towards the 5-yard line. And that's about where they'll bring him down finally. A strong run from that young man. Put the football right on the 5-yard line for a 2nd and 1. Poulter hangs on to it himself. Poulter gets inside the 5. He'll be brought down at about the 3, and that should be good enough to give him a 1st and goal. And it is. Cade Poulter gets them their first down on the quarterback keeper, and it'll be 1st and goal from about the 3-yard line for the Fairview Apaches, looking to get themselves back into this football game. Direct snap to Timbrook. He's going to power forward and into the end zone, it looks like. Indeed it is. Touchdown, Fairview. So the Apaches get back on offense finally, and they answer with a touchdown of their own. And that'll make it 12-6. Or maybe not. They still haven't put the points on the board. Now they have. And Fairview is going to kick the ball. Frank will make the attempt. puts the ball up. That's a good-looking kick, and it's good. Caleb Frank splits the uprights, and that might be important down the road as the Apaches go up on the scoreboard. Aces still with the lead, but only by 5 now. It's Hicksville 12 and the Fairview Apaches 7 with 3:52 left to go in our opening quarter. Glad to have you with us again as the lights are on and everybody's having a good time. Good football weather here this evening at Aces Field. 2 weeks ago we were here for a big homecoming win over the Holgate Tigers, and then, like I said, our nice, well, not a nice road trip, but a road trip to Edgerton where they treated us very nicely. Very nice facility. Aces took a tough loss there, and so good to be back home. Getting to that point where things are starting to wind down for a lot of the fall sports. Cross country, I think, is running a big match at Antwerp tomorrow morning. And the sectional draw for girls volleyball taking place on Sunday. So next week we'll find out where the Lady Aces will be playing volleyball in the sectionals. And then I think a week from tomorrow will be the GMC cross-country meet at Edgerton this year, I believe. So starting to wind things down. Of course, the golfing is pretty much wrapped up. Lady Aces were sectional champs in golfing. Micah Schrader was the overall GMC individual championship this year. Mason Comiso catches the kick and takes it out to about the 27-28 yard line. So all in all, Aces continuing to have a pretty good year in sports. And as we mentioned, the Aces coming into tonight's game with an overall record of 3-3, so looking to get back above 500 with a win here tonight. Pitch back to Comiso. And Comiso's in trouble, and he's going to be dropped for a loss back at about the 20-yard line, maybe even the 19. We'll see where they mark him down. Forward progress, I would think that would be about the 20-yard line. Yeah, that's where they're going to put it down. So Comiso loses a bunch. About 7-yard loss to make it second and about 18, second and 17. Miller in the shotgun with second and very long. Miller hangs onto the ball himself, nothing doing. They sniff that out, and he's going to be stopped at about the 20-yard line for no gain. That'll bring up third down. Aces will break huddle down to about 2.5 minutes to go here in our opening quarter. Up 12-7. And that's going to back them up 5 more. Aces jump, false start. And that's going to move them back to the 15-yard line. And that'll make it third and about 22. So Hicksville with a third and very long. Miller dropping back, rolling out, puts the ball in the air, caught. We'll see just how much they can get back. Nice catch by number 6, Gipple, and Gipple gets him out to about the 30-yard line. That'll be well short of the first down. They needed to get out to about the 37, 38-yard line to move the chains. So the Aces are going to be short at the 31, 4th down and 7, and here comes Langham out to do the punting. Braden Langham, the punter. Aces will get themselves situated. Langham puts his foot into it, And it's going to be off the hands of the Apaches defender and grabbed by the Aces, and they'll recover the muffed punt return. Riley Lucas, it was a little over his head. He backed up to catch the punt and sort of stumbled backwards. The ball bounced off his hands behind him. And by the time he got himself turned around, the Aces, the special teams, had been barreling down the field. And the Aces beat him to the football on the turf, and it's another recovery for Hicksville as they buy themselves some new life on offense with 1:24 left to go here in our opening quarter. Miller takes the snap. Quick hitter onto the outside to Thiel. Thiel with a stiff arm dives forward inside the 15-yard line. Won't be quite enough for a first down, but he gets him a good gain on first down. Parker Thiel picks up, looks like about 6-7 yards. Make it 2nd and 3 for the Aces as we go under a minute here in our first quarter. A quickly moving first quarter. Miller hands off right up the middle, nothing doing, no gain on that one. As they give it to Brickle, and Zach again runs right into the teeth of the Fairview defense, and they bring him down for no gain. 3rd and 3. Clock continues to roll. We'll see if they can get one more play off here before the quarter ends. They're down to 15 seconds. Miller, hard snap, nobody bites. Hands off to Brickle again. Brickle powers forward. And we'll see. Looks like it might be a little shy for the first down. It'll be 4th and 1 when we return for the second quarter of action. That's the end of the first quarter here at Aces Field, and after 1, it's the homestanding Aces leading the visiting Fairview Apaches 12-7. Our first quarter score. And while we've got some time here as we get ready to flip ends of the field, we'll take some time to say a big thank you to our football broadcast underwriters here on Hicksville Community Television. They are, of course, the Jim Schmidt family of automotive dealerships in Hicksville, Ohio. Jim Schmidt Chevrolet Buick and Jim Schmidt Ford. If you're in the market for a vehicle, pre-owned, brand spanking new, be it car, truck, van, or SUV, stop by, check out the great selection they have on the lots at the Jim Schmidt family of automotive dealerships, or check out the entire dealer inventory online at jimschmidtauto.com. Thanks also to Community Memorial Hospital of Hicksville. Community Memorial Hospital celebrating 65 years of serving the healthcare needs of the Hicksville area, reminding you to check out their health fair coming up October 18th, 19th, and 20th from 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. all 3 days in their community rooms 1 and 2. Bunch of terrific services, screenings that they'll have available at a very reasonable price. Community Memorial Hospital, you can find them online at www.cmhosp.com. Again, thanks to the Jim Schmidt family of automotive dealerships and Community Memorial Hospital, our football broadcast underwriters here on Hicksville Community Television. We appreciate both of them so very much. 4th and 1 for the Aces as we kick off quarter number 2. And another strong carry for Zach Brickle, and he gets down inside the 5-yard line. It'll be a 1st and goal for the Aces. They're going to put the ball down at the 3. So Brickle has him knocking on the door of the end zone one more time. 9 seconds into quarter number 2. Brickle will be the back behind Miller. Miller going to keep it himself and go straight ahead. He'll be brought up short at about the 1-yard line. So the Aces on 2nd and goal from the 1. And that could have been disastrous. A handoff to Brickle, and Brickle looked like he might have tripped on Miller's foot. Went down, the ball fell out of his hands, but he managed to fall right on top of the football. So that'll back him up a little bit and make it 3rd and goal, and move the ball back to about the 3-yard line. And now they're going to bring Thiel in to do the quarterbacking. And they'll put Miller out wide on the far side. And Thiel's going to just run it in himself. Nice gap opened up. Parker Thiel saw it and scoots right into the end zone. Touchdown Aces. It comes at 10:42 left to go in the first half. And it puts Hicksville up now 18-7. Pending the conversion attempt here. And the Aces again going to go for 2, and again they're going to keep Thiel in. And Thiel is going to power forward, and I think he might have made it this time. We'll see, and he did. So Parker Thiel manages to get into the end zone of the 2-point conversion attempt. And that makes it 20-7. As the Aces increase their lead now to 13. And we'll get ready for Delagrange to tee it up again, as the Aces will kick it back off to the Apaches. And so far, the Apaches, the big bugaboo for Fairview tonight, has been handling kicks. They lost one on an onside kick from Delagrange. And then, of course, they lost another one with the missed punt catch off of the foot of Langham. So the Apaches going to have to be maybe a little bit nervous here, getting ready to take another kickoff. So Delagrange going to tee it up for Hicksville. Rakes, number 7, the deep man for the Apaches. Also back there with him is Frank, number 1. And I think that's number 4, Lucas, back there too. Delagrange kicks it right into the breadbasket of number 18, Keenan Jackson, the 6'3 senior. Falls on it, and it'll be 1st and 10 for the Apaches at their own 48-yard line. Now make that the 49-yard line. So again, the downside of the onside kick is that if the other team does recover it, they usually have some pretty good field position. And last time the Apaches were able to march it right down the field and into the end zone. Falls back, fakes, and now in the the pump fake worked all right. Then Poulter dumped it off, but the intended receiver still had his back turned and didn't see it. He turned around like he was supposed to catch the pass, but as he turned around, he noticed that it was like even with his shoulder pad and cruising past him onto the turf. So that'll make it 2nd and 10. Poulter gets the call from the sideline. He'll work out of the shotgun. Dropping back, gets the ball in the air. And a little bit of contact there, but no flag. As Frank, the intended receiver, on the far sideline. That'll make it 3rd and 10. So the Apaches now facing a 3rd and 10. Poulter drops back, looks downfield. He's in some trouble now. He's going to have to get rid of it. He launches it, caught, and he stayed. Well, it looks like he stepped on the sideline. I thought he might have stayed in bounds, but after he made the grab, Caleb Frank put a toe on the sideline, and he'll be out of bounds right at the 30-yard line. They'll move the chains. So the Apaches complete the 3rd and 10 play to get themselves a fresh set of downs, and they don't waste a lot of time getting back up to the line with their hurry-up offense. Hand off to Timbrook. Timbrook looked like he might have been thinking about doing a lateral, pitching it right back to the quarterback, kind of a flea flicker back to Poulter, but then decided against it as he got wrapped up by a second defender and then brought down for a 1-yard loss at the 31-yard line. 2nd and 11 now for the Apaches. 10 minutes exactly on the clock and running as we head towards halftime. Poulter with the snap, rolls out. Looking downfield, Poulter throws it just before he gets to the line of scrimmage and overshoots his intended receiver, Rakes. And that's going to make it 3rd and 11. Well, that shouldn't worry the Apaches. They've picked up a 3rd and 10 already. So another long 3rd down for Fairview. Clock stops at 9 minutes 45 seconds on the incomplete pass. Timbrook gets some instructions from the sideline. He shares them quickly with Poulter. As they'll get set, Poulter takes the snap, drops back. Poulter launches it, and I think that was a big miscommunication. I think it got away from Poulter to begin with because the way he threw it and where he threw it and how high it was not going to be a catchable ball by anybody on the field. But I also think his receiver broke the wrong way. So 4th and 11. And it's going to be 4-down territory here for the Apaches. If they turn the ball over here, it'll be at about the 30-yard line or so for the Aces. Poulter launches it, and it's picked off. Intercepted and returned out to about the 27-yard line. That was Landon Turnbull made the grab. So Turnbull picks up the INT on defense and gets him out to the 27-yard line, which is about the same as a good punt or whatever. So Fairview doesn't come off too badly on the exchange. Of course, Poulter probably isn't too thrilled about adding another interception to his stats, but aside from that, Aces back on offense. 9:25 to go in the second quarter. Jake Miller puts Comiso in motion, keeps the ball himself though. Miller throws it over the center. Almost a one-handed catch by Langham, but he wasn't quite able to haul it in. Would have been a great one if he had on the run as he was. But instead, the incompletion, and it'll be 2nd and 10 Aces. Handoff, and that's Brickle. Brickle powers forward to about the 31-yard line. That'll be a pickup of about 4 to make it 3rd and 6. Again, the Mini Aces cheerleaders here tonight, entertaining the crowd on the sideline with some help from the varsity and the JV cheerleading squads. It's always fun when they have the little kids join their older counterparts at the football game. Back to action on the field. Hard count from Miller, nobody bites. Gets the snap. Oh. And that's going to be a fumble and a recovery. Brickle had the ball and he got hit, and the ball, as happens sometimes, pops out right into the hands of one of the Fairview defenders. So the lost fumble gives the ball back to the Apaches, 1st and 10 from the Aces 32-yard line. So a fresh set of downs and good field position for Cade Poulter and company. Poulter gets the snap, puts the ball in the air, and nice defense and a flag. Oh, they're going to say contact must have come a little early. I thought that was pretty well played. The defender, number 6, Gipple. It looks like he just sort of jumped. To me, it looked like he jumped up and just sort of smacked the ball away from the intended receiver, Frank. But they're going to say, nope, interfered. So that's going to move the ball forward and give the Apaches a first down from the Aces 16-yard line. And make it the 17-yard line. So a costly pass interference call puts the Apaches inside the red zone. Poulter catches Tim Brook. Tim Brook working his way through traffic. Tim Brook down to about the 5-yard line, it looks like. So a quick hitter. Tim Brook made the grab, and Tim Brook takes the ball down close to the 5-yard line, where it'll be first and goal for the Apaches. There's the snap. Tim Brook gets the carry. Tim Brook spinning. The ball is loose, and it looks like the Aces recovered it just short of the goal line. Tim Brook got the carry, and he was spinning and forcing and fighting his way towards the end zone, and in that process, the ball pops out, and the Aces fall on it, and we'll see where they mark it. It looks to be about the 2-yard line. So another fumble recovery. So far, the Aces have lost one, but they've picked up, I think, 4 now. So an onside kick, a fluff pump, and a punt, and a couple of fumbles. So they're up 3 on turnovers. 8:09, ball on the 2-yard line. Miller needs to get himself some breathing room, get him out of the close confines of their backs pinned against their own end zone. And they'll power it out, maybe get a couple on. It looks like a 1-yard pickup. Make it 2nd and 9. So not much in the way of breathing room. Miller. Again, a quick handoff, and this one's to Comiso. Comiso. And Comiso was running right along the goal line, and he actually lost a yard, could not turn the corner. So after the Comiso carry, it's 3rd and 11 now from the 1-yard line. And we'll see what happens here. Movement and a flag thrown, and it's going to be a false start on the Aces, half the distance to the goal. So they'll take this snap from about the 1-foot line. So the Fairview Apaches, they got to be thinking, oh, if they can bring him down in the end zone, go for the safety here. It's 3rd and 12 from the 1-foot line. Miller throws it out, and it's dropped. It was right in the arms of Langham, and Langham turned his head and started thinking about running upfield before he had the ball completely secured. And as you often see, it hits the turf. And now the Aces are going to have to punt, and Langham is going to be standing on the back line of his own end zone. And the Apaches have got to be excited about this kick. It is a high wobbler, and it takes a nice Aces roll across the 45 to the 46-yard line. So the 2 deep men for the Apaches, Frank and Rakes, actually moved forward a little bit because you could tell they were like, he's not going to kick it this far. So they moved up, and as a result, the kick goes over their heads, and this time, wisely, they just watched it sail over. It took a nice bounce for the Aces, and still good field position, though, for the Apaches as they've got the ball 1st and 10 from Hicksville's 46-yard line. Poulter working out of the shotgun, 3 wide receivers on the far side, 2 on the near side towards us, puts it in the air. I think that ball might have gotten touched as it went over the line, and it was nearly picked off by the Aces defender, who I think was Gimple over there. So I think that somebody in the line might have gotten just a whisker on that ball, enough to maybe change the trajectory just a bit. Not quite able to get the INT, but prevents the completion. Timbrook goes in motion for the Apaches. Snap, and that one's blocked, knocked down again by the Aces. And that was Meeks, number 60, jumping out of there and batting the ball down to make it a 3rd and 10 for Fairview. 6:29 to go here in the first half. As the Apaches get themselves set. Again, looks like they're sending the house on the play. They've got to pick up 10 on this 3rd down. Pelfrey has got a man, and it's unfortunately a man in a red jersey, picked off by the Aces and returned out to about the 40-yard line. And so another interception, and I'll be honest, I could not see who picked the play off. And I think that it was Meek that made the grab, but either way, another interception. And the Aces return the ball, and they put him out of bounds at the 38-yard line. And a quarterback keeper, he almost came to a full stop like he was going to pitch it out to Brickle, and it fooled just about everybody. And then Miller tucks it under and powers forward and gets out to the 44-yard line to make it 2nd and 4. Brickle the split back behind Miller. Miller hands it off to Zach. Zach straight ahead. Zach coming close. I think he's going to be about a yard shy of moving the sticks. So Brickle with the short gain to make it 3rd and 1. So 3rd and 1 for the Aces. About 5 minutes and 15 seconds to go in the half when they take the snap. Thiel grabs the snap in at quarterback, and Thiel angles forward and gets them the yard that they need. He'll take the ball to about the 49-yard line, or it'll be 1st and 10 for the Aces. So Hicksville moves the chains. 5 minutes, 10 seconds left to go here in the 2nd quarter. The tail of the football on the 48-yard line, so it's about the 48.5-yard line. 1st and 10 for Hicksville. They'll start the clock. 5 minutes to go in the half, and running. Jake Miller gets the snap. Miller rolling out, pitches out at the last minute. Brickle with a nice carry. Brickle into Apache's territory, takes it down all the way to about the 32-yard line. Move the chains, another 1st down for Hicksville as they take it back into the Apache's half of the field. So the Aces definitely keeping the pressure on the Fairview Apaches, who, to be honest, the Apaches have been playing pretty well. Their only problem is they haven't been able to hang on to the football. They've given up too many times. I mean, you turn it over 4 times, 5 times in a game, you are going to have a hard time being competitive. Carry for about a yard to the 30 to make it 2nd and 9 for the Aces. Now make it 2nd and 8. Pickup of 2. And Hicksville, again, not in any rush here. 4 minutes to go in the half. They're up by 13. And they wouldn't mind just stretching this drive out a little closer to the halftime whistle. Miller, quick hitter out to Comiso. Comiso, 1st down yardage and a little bit more as Mason takes it inside the 20-yard line. They're going to say right at the 20-yard line is where his knee touched. So first and 10 for the Aces. Comiso gets him a fresh set of downs. And the Aces knocking on the door of breaking into the red zone yet again tonight. Miller pitches it out. And that's Comiso. Comiso around the corner. And nothing there but green field as Mason Comiso takes it into the end zone. Touchdown, Aces. That puts them up 26-7. And we'll see what they want to do with the conversion. They've been going for 2 most of the evening. A successful conversion would make it a 21-point game, 28-7. Last 2 weeks, we've had continuous clocks in the second half because of a 30-point differential. The Aces were enjoying the benefits against Holgate, and Edgerton enjoyed the benefits against the Aces last week. And nothing doing there. Brickle got the ball, and looks like he kind of tripped on the turf or slipped, and he goes down short of the goal line. So it's going to remain a 19-point differential for the Aces on top of the visiting Fairview Apaches. Hicksville leads 26-7. As Delagrange will get ready to head back onto the field and kick off once again to the Apaches, who've been getting their fair share of practice for their onside kick returns on special teams here tonight. I see the Apaches, the Fairview Band of Pride, making their way out of the stands on the visitors' side. Both they and the Aces Pride March Band doing some halftime entertainment for us tonight. And again, the Aces Pride will be joined by the middle school band for one of their songs they perform at halftime. Delagrange teeing it up. And we'll see, so far the deep men for the Apaches haven't had a lot of work to do tonight. Delagrange this time puts his foot up and it'll go out of bounds. So the kick lands out of bounds. And we'll wait and see what the determination is going to be from the Apaches. Whether they will take the yards or do the re-kick. And it looks like they're going to do the re-kick. So the Fairview Apaches elect to back the Aces up 5 yards and make them kick it again. So they will move it back to the 35-yard line. And that's where Delagrange will kick it off for the second time. Delagrange puts his foot into it again, and it is caught back at the 20-yard line and returned out to about the 39. That was number 7, Doug Rakes. And Rakes, nice return of about 19 yards, gets it out to the 39-yard line. And that's where the Apaches will set up shop, first and 10 with 3:16 to go in our opening half. Week number 7, varsity football action coming to you from Aces Field on a Friday night in October. First Friday in October. Glad to have you with us on HIX-TV. Poulter gets the snap. Poulter in trouble. Poulter is going to be taken down at about the 30-yard line. Got an initial hit from one of the Aces and was just not able to recover fast enough. So after the loss, Poulter. And a nice run on the far sideline, and a flag comes in near the end of the play. It was a nice catch and run from Caleb Frank. Frank made it out to about the 45-yard line. And then the laundry flew, and it was a hold against the Apaches. That's going to negate that long run and maybe back him up even further. Franks had a nice catch and run and got back the lost yardage from the sack. And some positive yardage, but that's all negated, and they're all the way back to the 29-yard, or to the 24-yard line now, excuse me, where it's 2nd and 30. Poulter throws, caught by Timbrook and taken down right away at about the 29-yard line. That's going to bring up 3rd, and it's like 3rd and about 21. 21-yard line, 21 yards to go rather, after they mark the ball at the 29-yard line. So 3rd and very long for the Apaches. Clock rolling as we go under 2 minutes here in the second quarter. Poulter with the snap. Poulter rolling out, looking downfield. Poulter in a world of trouble, and Poulter's going to get rolled over. And Coach Lucas Smith indicating a timeout. With 1:43, it's going to be 4th and a country mile for the Apaches. And Coach Lucas Smith wanting to preserve some time so that once the Apaches punt the ball, which in all likelihood they are definitely going to do, it's going to be 4th down for Fairview. The ball after the second sack of Poulter is at the 20-yard line, which makes it a 4th and 20 for the Apaches. It should be 4th and 30. I'm sorry, yep, I can count. So it is 4th and 30 for Fairview, ball at their own 20-yard line, so they're definitely going to be punting. And Coach Smith calling a timeout right away at the end of that. He'll have 2 left to preserve as much time. So the Aces are going to get the ball back, and they'll have about 1 minute and 40 seconds or so to work with before halftime, and maybe see if they can punch another one in, which would make it 32. If they were to do it in a 2-point conversion, it'd be 34-7. Still not enough to give them a 30-point advantage and a continuous clock, but nice punt. Caught at the 45-yard line and carried down to about the 41. It was Langham with the grab. So the Aces will have the ball 1st and 10 from the Apaches' 41-yard line with 1:39 left to go before halftime to work with, and see if they can maybe put some more points on the board before they break for the intermission. Aces break, huddle, and here we go. Miller gets the snap. Miller drops back to throw. Miller's scrambling now. Miller gets the ball away. It's caught. Not a large gain, but Field manages to come back to help his quarterback out. Makes the catch at the 39-yard line. That'll be a pickup of 2. Make it 2nd and 8. Miller. And that one's dropped and incomplete. Langham, the intended receiver, to make it 3rd and 8 now. Stops the clock with 1 minute and 11 seconds to go in the half. Doing a quick check to make sure we don't run out of tape here. You should be okay. Provided somebody calls a timeout, we may do a quick tape change, but Miller gets the snap. Hands off to Brickle. Brickle powering forward down to about the 36-yard line. That'll make it 4th down. If we go under a minute. Call comes in from the sideline. They're not calling timeout. I guess they'll wait and see. If they make this conversion, we might see a timeout, depending on where the ball ends up. Trying to get him to jump, and now they're called a timeout. So it'll be a timeout for the Aces with 36 seconds to go. We're going to take a quick break here. We'll step aside and pop a new tape in real fast and back with more. Back with you, still in a timeout here. 36 seconds to go in the half. We've got our tape switched so that we'll be able to bring you the end of the quarter. And of course, halftime entertainment with the Fairview and the Hicksville marching bands. And then a whole nother half of football action coming your way here on this Friday night. Aces with the ball. It's a 4th and 5. Miller looks downfield. Miller's airing it out. He's got a man open, and it's just over the heads of Parker Thiel. No flags. And Coach Smith wanting to know why. They're saying that, hey, you know, the other side got a interference call, but it was deemed. So if they are saying that the runner or the receiver was impeded and would have been able to get to where the ball was if it hadn't been for that, the argument falls on deaf ears. They turn it over on downs, and so the Apaches have 35 seconds to work with here. Poulter puts it in the air. It's caught on the sideline and stepping out of bounds, number 35. That's Russ Zedike. We haven't called his name yet this evening. Zedike makes his first catch of the night. That'll move the chains and stop the clock with 27 seconds to go. Poulter seeing if they can work their magic and maybe bang some points onto the board here. Not like that, though. He's off and running for his life now, Poulter, and he's just going to have to eat it. Good defense down the field from the Aces as Poulter just could not find anybody to throw the ball to, and he's only able to evade for so long before he gets taken down for a loss. And now the Apaches will call timeout. The other downside for that was while he was scrambling and looking for somebody to throw the ball to, the clock was running, so they've ticked down to 14 seconds left in the half. And that they're going to be facing a second and about 15, 16 yards to go when they come out of this timeout. So the Apaches have actually not been playing all that badly here tonight. They've had some really good offensive series. Their problem has been that they've just lost the football too many times tonight, and the Aces have been able to take advantage. Hicksville fumbled and lost the ball once, but they've managed to pick the ball off from the Apaches about 5 times here in this first half. And so when you've got a +4 on turnovers, you should be leading by a couple scores. And sure enough, the Aces with the 19-point lead. Poulter, quick hitter, up the sideline to about midfield and out of bounds goes Frank. 8 seconds left, and it'll be 3rd and about 6. Now they're going to put it at the Aces 49-yard line, so that'll be 3rd and 5 for the Apaches with 8 seconds to go. So we're going to see if we get the Hail Mary play here, or if they just try to get what they can. Poulter dropping back. Poulter, now it doesn't matter. That's it. Poulter taken down at his own 40-yard line, and time expires. So that's the end of the first half. We've played the first 24 minutes, and at halftime, it's the homestanding Hicksville Aces leading the visiting Fairview Apaches 26-7. Your halftime score. We're going to take a break. We've got some halftime entertainment coming your way, and I'll be back. And we'll have all the exciting second half play-by-play coming your way right here on HIX-TV.